Hello everyone, welcome to Jets Central here on Jets TV. Please comment, rate, subscribe guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. As always, you comment, I comment back. Let's go ahead and get into my Week 6 recap. Starting with Dallas versus Baltimore. Dallas 29, Baltimore 31. Took Baltimore in this game, that got me a win. Although Dallas had a lot of opportunities in this game. Tony Romo had a decent day. He threw 25 balls. He completed 25 balls, 261. He had 2 TDs. He had an interception. Murray had a decent day as well. He had 93 yards on the ground. But Dez Bryant, Dez Bryant has got to start really maturing and making catches. He had 95 yards. He had 2 TDs, but he dropped a crucial, and I'm talking about a crucial 2-point conversion that could have really put Dallas in the game. Again, Dallas had a lot of opportunities to win this game. Dez Bryant dropped the 2-point conversion, as I said, and they also missed a field goal, which, ended the game and got them a loss. Joe Flacco had a good day as well. He had 234, a touchdown. Ray Rice had 63 yards. He had 2 TDs. Anquan Boldin had a pretty big day, 5 catches, 98 yards. But another thing that came out of this game was the injuries. Ray Lewis ends up tearing his bicep. Ladarius Webb, a cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens, ends up ripping his knee up. I think it looked really bad. I think they're actually going to pretty much place him on IR pretty soon. He's getting an MRI though. Murray for the Dallas Cowboys, he jacked up his foot. I mean, outside of Dallas having so many opportunities and still blowing this game, Murray really is going to be a huge hole in their offense if he misses games. But Baltimore really came out of this one staggering with this win because Ray Lewis being gone for the season, Ladarius Webb pretty much being gone for the season, and there was also some talk about Ed Reed having a torn labrum in his shoulder. So hats off to Baltimore because you guys are going to have a tough road ahead without those guys. But they got a win and got me a win as well. Next game, Detroit at Philly. Detroit 26, Philadelphia 23. Took Philly in this game, got me another loss. I could really recap this game really easily. Michael Vick threw two interceptions. Again, turnovers. Again, the defense played pretty well early for Philadelphia, but I don't know who made the call. Well, I know who made the call. It was Juan Castillo. Made the call to take I guess Nnamdi off of Calvin Johnson. But that was the dumbest call I've ever seen in my life. They take Nnamdi off of Calvin Johnson at the half or by the middle of the third quarter. He comes out and just erupts. Calvin Johnson ended up having 6 catches for 135 yards. Matt Stafford had 311 and a TD. I mean, they just pretty much gave up, in the second half. Philadelphia had a 10-point lead and just gave it up. Juan Castillo ends up getting fired after this game. Andy Reid has to blame somebody. And I mean, hey, this dude was offensive line coach. You hired him as a defensive coordinator. What do you expect? Again, Michael Vick had 311. He had 2 TDs. He also had 2 picks. Jeremy Maclin had a pretty big day. He had 6 receptions, 130 yards, and a TD. But Philadelphia's got to clean some stuff up, man, because they're playing very undisciplined, especially late in games, giving up leads, not playing games all the way through. And if you don't play 4 total quarters in the NFL, you will lose games. You turn the ball over constantly, Philadelphia. You will lose games. I mean, I've never seen, there was a quote about Andy Reid. Somebody said, I forgot the guy who said it, but he was like, I've never seen a coach with so much talent do so little. And that's like the story of Andy Reid. He's had so much talent, but he does so little. But again, Detroit got a win, and that got me a loss because I picked Philly, so poops on me. Next game, New England 23, Seattle 24. I took New England in this game. Boy, did that get me a loss. New England, Tom Brady, 395 throwing the ball, 2 TDs, but he uncharacteristically threw 2 bad interceptions in this game. Wes Welker had 10 receptions. He had 138 yards. He had 1 TD. He came out pretty big. But you know what? Seattle just wouldn't lay down. They came back. They were down early. They came back. Wilson, 16-27. He had 293. He had 3 TDs. The game-winning touchdown by Sidney Rice, a 46-yard touchdown bomb from Wilson. Sidney had 3 catches on the day. He had 81 yards, and he had a TD. You know, Seattle just didn't lay down. They kept fighting, and they got back into the game. Uncharacteristically, again, New England usually, once they got you down, they slammed the door on you. But Seattle was able to come back. You know, Marshawn Lynch really didn't have a big game. I think he had like 40-something yards, 41 yards on the ground. Seattle got it done through the air. Hats off to them. I took New England, but got me a loss. Congratulations, Seattle. Next game I want to talk about, New York Giants 26, San Francisco 3. You know, to recap this game, Alex Smith has got to take better care of the ball, okay? San Francisco's not some scoring machine. They're not going to come up and put, you know, 72 points. They're not going to come in your stadium and put up, you know, numbers, like crazy numbers throwing the ball. You know, Alex Smith had 200 yards throwing the ball. He had 3 interceptions. That's just unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. You cannot throw 3 interceptions, Alex Smith. You can't do it. And they were horrendous interceptions as well. Randy Moss had a decent day. He had 2 catches, 75 yards. He got off the back of that milk carton because he's been MIA for a couple games. Eli Manning came out 15-28. He had 193 throwing the ball, and he had a TD. Bradshaw had a pretty big day as well. 27 carries, 116 yards. He had 116 yards rushing against the San Francisco 49ers, and he also had a TD. I mean, once the Giants got those turnovers, they took advantage of them, and they got the job done. Hats off to the Giants. They really took out San Francisco. They beat them in San Francisco. There's nothing else I can say. I mean, you know, I got a loss, and San Francisco, again, if Alex Smith is going to be your quarterback, he needs to start taking care of the ball because he's had some turnovers these last 2 weeks. So hats off to the Giants. You guys got to win, and that's a loss for me. Next game, New York Jets at Indianapolis Colts 9, New York Jets 35. This game was pretty much like, as I said, it was pretty much a wrap pretty early. We really got after Andrew Luck on defense. Indy pretty much had 4 turnovers. Andrew Luck, 280 throwing the ball. He also had 2 interceptions. Reggie Wayne had 5 catches, 87 yards, but it just wasn't enough. Those 2 interceptions we took advantage of. There was also 2 fumbles that Indy had, and we took advantage of as well. Like I said, we forced them into 4 turnovers. Our defense was slanging and banging all day long, and that's the way that I love to see our defense play. Again, hats off to Cromartie. This man is coming up big every single game. He's doing something. Cromartie really is holding it down for our secondary, and he stepped up. You know, Revis is out, but he's taking his place, and he's saying, hey, I'm putting the secondary on my back, and I'm going to get the job done. So hats off to him. But the player of the game, let me tell you something. The player of the game, this guy turned a switch on our offense. Sean Green came out and had 32 carries, 161 yards, and 3 TDs. Sir, where were you earlier this year? Our offensive line was dominant. We were able to really get some things done. Let me tell you how dominant this win was. Mark Sanchez threw the ball 18 times. He had 11 completions. He only had 82 yards throwing. He only had 82 yards throwing, yo. He had 2 TDs, 82 yards throwing the ball. It's because our run game was so dominant. It really looked like the Jets of old. When we went to the AFC Championship 2 years in a row, where we were just handing the ball off to Sean Green and Thomas Jones, and they were just running rush. We were just really running the NFL, you know, into the end zone, and we were just roughing guys up, and we were just running people around. So, you know, again, this was a game that we needed to get ready for New England next week. And I'm excited that we took care of business and that we beat the Colts. You know, even though the Colts are, you know, still in that rebuilding mode, hey, they're an NFL team. We came in, we got the job done. So hats off to the New York Jets. I took them. They got me a win. So it was a great game. Again, guys, please comment, rate, subscribe, like the video. Thank you guys for watching. Be on the lookout for my next weekly picks video. All right, guys? Peace.